Welcome to an overview of plant health diagnosis in ornamental plants. This webinar is one in a series of workshops and webinars that comprise the Tyfu Cymru's Plant Health Programme. Please note the guidance on this slide. You as a commercial grower will want to sell high quality plants, and therefore you need to produce healthy plants. Plant pests and diseases can lead to production and sales losses. It's important for you as a grower to be able to detect when problems arise. And if those problems are caused by pests and diseases, the knowledge of their symptoms is important so you can recognise the problems and stop them from spreading. The key topics we'll cover today are the symptoms which are caused by pathogens or pests, or the symptoms arising from physiological disorders. And we'll also introduce the techniques which are used in more advanced diagnosis. What we won't cover today in any detail is tree health, because that'll be covered in more detail in a later webinar. To begin with, some definitions, and we'll use these terms throughout the webinar. Firstly, a pest in the context of pests and diseases is an animal that causes damage to plants. For example, an insect or a rodent or a nematode. A pathogen is an organism that causes disease in plants. For example, a fungus, a water mold, bacteria, viruses, or mycoplasmas. And when talking about the pathogens, usually a Latin name is used. A disease is the collection of symptoms that are caused by the pathogen. And that disease, that collection of symptoms, is given a common descriptive name. In contrast, a disorder is a plant problem that is caused by a physiological difficulty. For example, frost damage, or a nutrient deficiency, or water stress. So, where do pests and diseases come from? Well, they might come from wind, and an example of a wind dispersed problem is ash dieback. There's rain and splash dispersal, and potato blight is spread in that way. The pathogen might come in irrigation water or on soil. For example, the damping off disease of seedlings caused by Pythium. It might be brought in on infected stock, or some pathogens, particularly viruses, are spread by animal vectors, for example the aphid transmission of viruses. They might also come in through wounding, and that might be wounding caused during the maintenance of plants, such as pruning and grafting. And we also have to be very conscious of biosecurity and importing pests and pathogens internationally, and they may come on a variety of sources, for example wooden pallets or fruit. So what we're going to do now is go through some steps in the straightforward diagnosis of pests or pathogen problems. So the first thing to think about is, when did you first notice the problem? Consider, has it appeared suddenly? Is it on a lot of the plants? Is it on specific parts of the plant, or does it affect the whole plant? So, if it's appeared suddenly, if it's only on one plant, check to see if there's been some kind of mechanical damage. An example here is on a tomato, where part of the stem's been accidentally broken, and that's caused wilting symptoms on the tomato. Again, if it's appeared suddenly, but it's actually on several plants, has it occurred quickly, for example overnight? And things to check for here might be damage from chemical sprays, and often you can see the pattern of spread of the spray causing damage across the crop. Also see if it's been caused by the weather conditions. For example, you might have frost damage, or damage from salt in sea spray, or it might be heat damage, giving scorch-like symptoms. And wilt symptoms are also caused by drought and conversely waterlogging. These type of symptoms are also called stress in plants. Here's an example of a number of plants that have been damaged by frost. So pelargonium, and you can see the browning of the leaves caused by the frost damage. One of the things to check if you've got wilt symptoms is to see if it is caused by drought. So you can try watering, and if the plant picks up, as it has done here, you can see that it wasn't caused by a pathogen problem, but was caused by a drought. The next question to ask is it on specific parts of the plant, or does it affect the whole plant? So if the whole plant's affected all at once, and it shows a wilt symptom or dieback, so the ends of the branches are dying back, then it's likely to be a root problem perhaps. An example of this would be Phytophthora root rot, and it attacks the root, and therefore all the above ground plants are affected at more or less the same time. Or it might be caused by a pathogen that causes a blockage of the vascular system, the system that brings water up into the plants. And if the water doesn't reach the top of the plants, you'll get wilting. An example of that is verticillium wilt of chrysanthemum. Now here's an example of a root disease in rhododendron, and you can see the whole of the plant has been killed off all at the same time. So the roots have been affected and not been able to supply the whole of the plant. Now, the problem might be on specific parts of the plant. So, where either a pest or a pathogen or a disorder affects different parts of the plant, that can be used in the diagnosis of the problem. So does it affect the leaves, or the stems, or the flowers, or the fruits perhaps? And in fact, particularly with fruits, post-harvest diseases are a particular problem. Some problems on parts of the plant are natural parts of the plant's development. So you need to learn to recognize how your plant would not naturally develop. Here's an example of browning of the leaves on the lower part of the plant. That's leaf senescence, and this occurs naturally in this plant as the resources going into the leaves are diverted to new growth, and the lower leaves are then shed. Sometimes that might be corrected in commercial plants by increasing the feeding of the plants. Nutrient deficiencies are most obvious on the leaves, and they're corrected by soil tests and then feeding. For example, there are characteristic leaf symptoms, and those might be, say, for nitrogen, has pale upper leaves and the lower leaves are yellow, or potassium, shows yellowing at the tips and the edges of the leaves. A phosphorus deficiency would mean that the leaves are darker than usual, whilst iron deficiency would cause a yellow leaf, but the veins would remain greener. Now, those aren't the only things that cause those symptoms, and they vary between plants, but they are a good indication of something to test. There are patterns on leaves also caused by viruses. So symptoms such as mosaics are often caused by viruses, and it's quite useful to be able to distinguish between these patterns. Just to give you another term used in plant diseases, plant pathology, the yellowing of leaves is called chlorosis. Fungal and some bacterial diseases cause leaf spots or dying of the tips of the leaves, and that's called necrosis. And here's an example on Rhododendron of tip necrosis caused by the pathogen Phytophthora ramorum. Here's another word, anthracnose. Anthracnose is a symptom where you get spots or dead lesions, necrotic lesions, and they can be caused by a whole variety of fungal pathogens, one or even several acting together. And this is an example of that anthracnose on oak. Here's another very characteristic spotting of the leaves. This is the disease rose black spot, and it's caused by the pathogen Diplocarpon rosei. More necrotic lesions you can see in the lower leaves on this tomato. This is the disease late blight of tomato, and it's caused by the pathogen Phytophthora infestans. So those are symptoms you might see on the leaves, but sometimes you can see the pathogens themselves, and that might be characteristic for the diagnosis. And examples of that would be powdery mildew, which gives a white surface on the upper leaf surface. Downy mildew is white on the underside. Now, powdery mildew can also spread to the underside of the leaves. And a very characteristic pathogen causes rust diseases, which have yellow or orange or white pustules on the leaves or the stems. So here's an example of a powdery mildew, Erysife aquilegii, and you can see there the whiteness on the leaves of the powdery mildew. Here are the characteristic pustules, in this case rust coloured, and this is rust on a poplar, Populus nigra, and in this case the pathogen is a species of Melampsera. So a reasonably straightforward pathogen to identify. We've talked mainly there about fungal pathogens, but insects can also characteristic damage to leaves. Here's a very characteristic symptom, and this is caused by the tunnelling in the leaves between the upper and lower surface, and this is the holly light leaf miner fly. The larva of it causes this leaf mining symptom. Now, this isn't really a problem on holly, it causes only a cosmetic impact. Probably all familiar with caterpillar damage. This is caused by the large white butterfly, one of a number of species commonly called the cabbage whites. And you can see the holes in the leaves here on the cabbage caused by the caterpillar. Another interesting symptom is skeletonization. This is an older leaf and it's been skeletonized by the grazing between the veins of the older leaf beetle. And if you hold this up to the light, you can see that skeletonization. This symptom is also reasonably characteristic. You can see the edges of the leaves have been eaten away into notches. This is Rhododendron, and these have been grazed by vine weevils. Some organisms disrupt the hormones in the plant, and that causes distortion of the plant, growth in unusual ways, and those might produce distinctive symptoms. For instance, here there's a currant, and the symptom here is these blisters, and it's caused by the currant blister aphid. So we've had a look at some symptoms there, and a number of those are characteristic of the general group of pathogen. And that might be sufficient for you to identify the problem at a certain level. For instance, you would know that it was a rust, or you would know that it was most likely to be a vine weevil. And that would be sufficient for you to decide upon an effective control measure. Most pathogens are very tiny organisms, but with insect pests, you can actually search for the insect, look for the infestation. The insects are usually large enough for you to be able to identify them using an identification key. And this is a list of characteristics of the insect that describe the insect. And from this key in a book or off the web, you should be able to get close to identifying the insect species. So that's when they're characteristic symptoms. However, sometimes the symptoms are less specific. For example, where you get root decay or dieback. Dieback occurs in a variety of situations with a whole range of pathogens. So, with these less specific symptoms, there might even be a number of pathogens involved in the disease. And then it might be necessary to use more advanced techniques at diagnosis. And they identify this pathogen species exactly, or at least they can show that the pathogen is there and present in association with the symptom. Now, this is very often difficult and specialist work for the commercial grower, and therefore it's most usual, if you want to carry out advanced diagnostic techniques, to contract a consultant or an organisation to carry out the identification. So amongst the advanced detection of disease techniques, there is one called image spectroscopy, and that's used to detect types of stress. There have also been a lot of recent developments to do with instruments called electronic noses and analysis of volatile compounds. And they're used as well to detect types of stress. And in fact, some of these devices can be attached to smartphones for diagnosis in the field. This is a very useful new development within plant pathology. So, if you're identifying a pathogen, using these advanced techniques, it's been traditional to use identification through microscopes, where the spores are looked at and are very characteristic of the pathogen. Sometimes it's necessary to grow the pathogen out of the plant into cultures so that it can be separated and cultured as single organisms, which aids their identification. There are also techniques which involve immunology, so specific ways of testing bodies that bind to the pathogens and can be used to identify specific species. So serology and immunoassays are involved in this. And constantly developing is molecular analysis of the organism, and this is leading to fingerprinting, so having a specific code that identifies the organism. These are all techniques that are available for a wide variety of pathogens through specialist consultants. Now, to have a complete diagnosis, it's conventionally been the way to prove that the pathogen is the cause of the disease. And the scientific method for doing that is one that follows a series of stages called Koch's postulates. And in that, the organism has to be isolated, and then a plant's inoculated to see if the same symptoms are shown, and then the pathogen has to be re-isolated from those symptoms. So going through a number of stages to show that unequivocally the pathogen is the organism that's been causing the disease in that plant. So there are a lot of sources of information on plants and pests and diseases, and I've given some examples here. You can look at websites, but make sure you're looking at UK advice. Different countries have different diseases, and the pathogens in different countries also infect different hosts. And also, if you're treating the pest or the pathogen, there are different permitted treatments in those different countries. So it's really important to look for advice which relates to the UK. A source of information on ornamentals is available from the Royal Horticultural Society, and the web address is given there. There are also sources of information on pests and diseases that can be obtained from the Agriculture and Horticultural Development Board, from the Horticultural Trades Association, or from the trade magazine Horticulture Week, which has fact sheets and disease alerts. And of course there are a lot of other subscription sources as well, and you can search for these and see which suits your needs most appropriately. There are a number of books available. These can be backed up by using the internet and pictures on them, but they're a very useful starting point for identifying pests and diseases on the nursery. And I've given 3 examples here, but there are a lot of books and articles and information notes available from a number of sources, and again it's worth searching to see which information sources are most appropriate to your needs. In the UK, there are a number of consultancy services available, and I've given just one here, which is the Ferret Plant Clinic, but there are a number of consultancy businesses offering identification services. And you may know some locally or nationally and wish to approach them. Often you'll need to send off material to the consultants, and those have to arrive in good condition for the pathogen or pest to be identified. So if you are sending off material, before you do, ask the consultants how they want the material to be packaged before you send it off to them. For instance, you might think it would be best going plastic packaging, but actually that can encourage the growth of other organisms and hide the actual pathogen that you're trying to identify. So always check the requirements of the consultants before you send material off to them. And there are a number of very good consultants that are in consultancy services that are available to give you advice and identification. Thank you very much for listening.